Before we jump in, if you're serious about building a sustainable career in music, take a moment to like this video and subscribe to Fixed Academy. We bring in actual operators from within the industry to share practical insights you can apply right away.
I have lots more questions. I have a few more I definitely want to get to. Joel and Eric, I've got a question for you, and then I'll follow up with one for you, Nico. What would you say in terms of independent artists coming directly to you versus labels? If you just had a ballpark, percentage, 50-50, 70-30, or somewhere in between, like, are you getting approached more directly from artists that are paying out of their pocket to work with you or from labels?
For me, it's pretty half and half right now. There's kind of been an influx because of the the internet and the sort of prevalence of influencers of like these independent artists having gigantic budgets now. Like there's like YouTubers who, they're making 100 grand a month and they just like, I want to make albums. There's a lot of those, especially in LA, because that's like, this is where the hub of it is. So I get a bunch of like TikTok people and like, they have more money than or just as much as labels sometimes. So I get those. But I would say right now it's split pretty evenly. I prefer sometimes to work with independent people actually because there's less sort of a machine involved and you get paid faster, everything's faster, the communication's faster. There's not different boss levels of notes too. The A&R guy always disagrees. They always want basically just turn the vocal up 150 dB all the time is always the note. And then the band's like turn down the vocal and then you don't have to deal with that as much and play middleman. So, but that's individual. Some labels are fantastic. It just kind of depends.
I'm guilty of the vocal thing for sure. I'll say it
Always.
right now.
So it's okay.
I could send an acapella and they'll say turn the vocal up. Like that's how much they want vocals.
This is good, bro, but I still can't hear the vocals.
Yeah. I still hear music. Can you turn up vocal more?
That's like mix it for Christian rock radio. It's like, yeah, I can still hear the band. Like I need another 3 dB. Like we took it to the radio job, I'm like, to answer the question, James, I'm probably like 70-30, but I also mix over like 200 songs a year. So I do a lot of volume and like, I don't like to say no. I like to say yes. So if I've got somebody who wants to work with me and as long as like, I just try to find reasons to say yes and make it work. So,
Was it 70-30?
Like independent artists.
Okay. Interesting.
Ton of label stuff, but again, it's just all over the place because label stuff, there's always politics involved. There's always like deadlines. Usually label stuff, at least in my experience, is always like, hey, it's Thursday and tomorrow we need this to go to distro. And by the way, you're mixing this. Can we, not all of them. You guys have always
please tell everybody that we don't do that too.
Yeah, you guys don't do that. I've been in too many situations like that. But I mean, indie artists do that too. So I don't know. It's all over the place. But songs are songs. You know what I mean? Like if you love mixing, you just want to work on as many as possible. So I try to I don't even care. I don't have a preference. I just love music and that's what I want to do. So.
And Nico, my question to you is a little different. Do you find are you ever working with artists that are self-producing or artists that have taken it on themselves before they get to talking with you to work with somebody like a Joel or an Eric where they're investing into their production? Or is it pretty consistent that when you're getting involved, you're needing to take them to somebody else to work on the...
Yes, that last part is correct. I would say 90% of the artists I'm looking at don't have any high level production to it at all. And I'm actually surprised by a lot of bands that are self-produced that have a baseline knowledge of at least getting some songs together. Maybe they'll pay a mixer, maybe they'll pay a mastering engineer. And I feel like I'm pretty good at telling the quality of that for sure. It's probably 90% of self-produced artists, but like I said, I'm not too worried about that because I know we can get it to a great place. It more just comes down to the songwriting aspect of things. But yeah, it is a pretty healthy amount of self-produced artists. But then on the flip side of it, that's why I think I said this before we actually started this thing officially, is like it's so important I see it really important for me to form relationships and connections with producers because I do have a few guys under my belt now they just say, look, dude, I'm going to send you everything that comes across my desk. And obviously those are unsigned artists. So that means that they have the capabilities of being a well-oiled machine and they can sustain themselves without a label. So those are good signs that I know that they're just in it for the long run when I get stuff from producers that don't have or from bands that don't have a label backing, but are going to producers that I've worked with and trusted before. So that's super important to me too.
Question for you, Nico. Sorry to steal your thing for a second, James, but do you like it? Because you just mentioned like producers sending you like unsigned bands. Do you like it like when people do that? Because again, the hard part for sometimes, you work with an artist, you're like, this artist is really good. and they're looking for a home, but you're like, well, I don't know if I want to pitch you because what if the A&R person doesn't like it? Now I look stupid or whatever. So what's your personal take on that? Because I'm always skittish to pitch people, but you see good stuff all the time and some not good stuff, and there's always an ebb and flow to this stuff. But I always wonder about that.
Yeah, that's awesome. Look, I'll never judge, and I don't think anybody should ever feel stupid for sending me stuff. I listen to everything. We even have like a actual submission thing through our websites, and I seriously listen to everything. I'm not just saying that. Like I go through all the songs that are sent to me. Every time a producer sends me songs, I definitely consider it, especially if I've worked with the person and I trust them and I know their work and whatnot. But I will say I am super picky, so don't be discouraged if I say no. But I definitely listen to everything and I will take it into consideration because I absolutely love that stuff. I would actually prefer that rather than burying my face in Spotify and TikTok for 10 hours straight trying to find something. Like I honestly prefer when things get sent to me by trusted sources for sure.
I've
That's
had
cool.
Nico say no to me before already.
I have.
Yeah?
Wow. Calling me out, dude. Yeah, I'm picky. I'm picky, bro. I think we are. A Thriller as a label is picky too. So, but I love it. I encourage it for sure.
I'll piggyback on that and say, like Joel, and you just said trusted sources. Like, we get pitched stuff, and like if it was just some random person pitching me stuff, and we were like, this is like they just sent me 3 things in a row. I'm like, yeah, now I'm like, okay, I'm never gonna trust anything that person sends. But like, you have such a record and we have such a relationship. Like if you sent me anything and we weren't into it, like it wouldn't shine anything back on you, in my opinion. Like you're a trusted source.
I always afraid to like send stuff that's like risky and not established. For me, I'm always like, all right, if I was a business owner and I was going to invest in this, right, like a label would, what boxes are we checking other than the song is really great or the artist has a good image and, are like, what are the metrics? What are the KPIs? Like I'm always looking for stuff that's kind of like on its way up and could blow up, where it's like, hey, we're already at like 100K monthlies. This band needs some money behind them. They don't have a home. That's the stuff I look for. But obviously there's a lot more stuff that you see floating around where you're like, this could be really awesome with the right direction, but that also involves a lot of artist development and stuff like that. And some labels are into that, and some labels are like, hell no, you guys do that. And then when it works, bring it to us, and we just want to push the money button and see if we can 10x it. So
yeah,
interesting.
I was gonna say I always look at rejection as just like it's not the right fit. You know what I mean? Even with mixes, like sometimes the greatest mixer on the planet isn't the best mixer for that person. I mean, some of my heroes, I love watching videos where like Jason Joshua talks about like how he gets fired all the time. Like that's like to me is so awesome because it's like even at his level. So I don't look if I pitch an artist for me and someone says no, to me that just means like it's not like it's shitty. It's just not the right thing for that label. And and that was the exact situation I was describing with Nico. It wasn't the right fit. This particular band signed another label and they're doing amazing. So they don't suck. It was just wasn't the right thing.
There's so much that goes into it. I mean, I feel like we could talk about that for 2 hours, or I could at least, but I highly encourage it. And I would always love if you guys have stuff. Any producers out there. I think it's awesome.
Everyone spam Nico.
I'll listen because I'm just genuinely curious. Even if I kind of go into it and I'm like, this might not be the best thing. I just want to hear what it sounds like just out of curiosity. I think it's awesome.
If you found this conversation to be valuable, please take a moment to like the video and make sure you're subscribed. It helps more independent artists discover these conversations. Fixed Academy is also supported by our Patreon members. If you want deeper conversations, extended sessions, and direct access to what we're building here, you can join us there. The link is in the description.